Hello and welcome to a quick video I'm doing about 2 Mahjong games that I found for the Apple II. The first one of these is by Tsukumo software. I'm going to keep for this video most of these games in black and white, or rather black and green for the duration. The reason for this is going to be obvious. I'll show you why. Alright, so we're loading here and it's telling us that it is Riichi Mahjong, and do we want to play? So yes we do. I'm going to flip over to color for a moment, and you can see that this is almost unreadable on a color monitor, and that was something that was generally true on an Apple II. So this is telling us a little bit about the rules. In particular, rule number 3 there tells us to hit the R key if we want to call Riichi, which is a bet in Japanese Mahjong. We're not going to get too far into the game here. So we're hitting space to advance, and our hand has been dealt. Again, I'm going to flip over to color. And you could see that these tiles are, you could probably make them out. V there is the 2 of circles. A, S, and D in the middle right are characters, but really in green screen, you can tell that A is the 4, S is the 5, and D is the 8. So I'm not going to go into the details of Mahjong hands here. I figured out about half of the interface of this program. So for example, to discard, we just hit space to advance, and the program is going on its own. So this is something that I find very difficult because I'm not a fast Mahjong player. So for me to be able to make the calls as people throw tiles, I find this extremely difficult. So here I'm being offered a chance to discard. I've drawn the 9 of bamboo. That's not a tile I want, so I'm going to type J, and you see a little cursor appears there, and then I type space to confirm. So I have really not a lot here that I could wait on. What I'm unable to figure out is how to call a tile for what's called a chi call, which is a tile called from the player immediately before you. Oh, I see. I think I hit the spacebar there and it paused. So it's giving me a chance to think about if I want to do anything with this tile. There's nothing I can do with this particular tile. So I'm going to type, there's an N, I think, and it proceeded. Let's discard again. Okay, so that's the mechanic here. I'm glad to figure that out. If I hit the spacebar, immediately I get this question mark up top showing me which tile is being considered, in this case the 2 of circles. Nice diamond circle on this Apple II. And I guess offering me a chance to do something with it. There's nothing I can do with that one, so I'm going to just advance here. And I'm going to pause a lot here while we decide what to do. Again, I'm getting lousy draws. This is not a very good hand that I have here. We hear the super high-tech sounds as we proceed of beeps and bloops. So now that we have a bunch of tiles on the screen, let's go ahead and flip over to color again. And you can see it's really, really painful to look at. So this is the game that is more well known. People on YouTube have talked about it. It is following a well understood rule set. It has credits on it, so we know who wrote it. It's not a mystery. I did manage to find in a strange place this Mahjong game. Let me switch over. And this one seems like it's a little more of a mystery to me. Modified by Wong. So, first of all, I read enough Japanese to be able to figure out the previous game. This is in Chinese and I don't read it, so I've done a lot of guesswork here. We can see we got some nice color. These are not using the Apple II generated characters. These are graphical characters. They're basically drawn. So I find these a little easier to read just in terms of visibility. Of course, they are clearer in green screen. So this is asking me, I presume, 1 or 2 players. I'm typing the 1 key. I don't know what it's asking me here. I'm tapping 1 again and 1 again. And this is the start warning. If I hit the space bar, we get our play field. So this game is a little more slowly paced than the Riichi game. And I think it's a little prettier to look at. I think if I had a color TV instead of a green screen monitor, I could play in color mode. It's not as sharp, it's not as clear, but it's it's readable. So right off the bat, also, I've got a much better hand here. So I like this game a lot more because it's dealing me better tiles. I've got a bunch of triplets. I've got 1 of circles, the 5 of circles, the white dragons. It looks like, I think these 2 characters under G and H are the Feng or green dragons. So I'm just going to go all out here, and I'm going to hit P to call Peng. And immediately I get those tiles. I'm going to throw out this tile under Z by tapping the Z key and then the space bar. You threw out the 4. And this game does not auto-advance. It waits for you at each tile, at each throw. You have to hit the space bar to advance. So let's go ahead and do that. Nothing I'm terribly interested in. Red dragon. You know what, let's, since this game looks so generous, let's go for, I actually already have a meld here. I have the 2, 3, and 4 of characters, so let's throw out the 8. This is a pretty good hand to be dealt. Not a lot of points, but... the other thing I should say is I don't know what rules this game is using. It does not feel like Reach. If I hit R, nothing happens. In the previous game, in this one over here, I can type R to declare Reach at any time. Let me get back to the other one. My much better hand. My question is, where did this Mahjong game come from? It's a single binary file on the disk. It's called Mahjong, M-A-J-O-N. So there's no credits that I can see, unless they're in the Chinese introduction, which I couldn't read. So if I have any Chinese viewers, I'd love any input you have on this game. Where did it come from? Who wrote it? Was it for sale? Was it freeware? Let me know. You folks, have a good day and thanks for watching. I'm going to finish this game.